And then all of these questions that you're asking, you should be asking about your customers as well.
If you're selling something that's maybe more of a fun item, and you want to have that kind of fun brand voice, I mean, how can you kind of convey that without maybe overstepping some unprofessionalism? Like, because you don't want it to sound like a 15-year-old wrote the listing, but maybe not be as savage as like Wendy's on Twitter. Like, what should you take into consideration when you're creating that brand voice?
Well, I think that some of what all of this comes down to is you do need to push boundaries a little bit. If you play it too safe, then what can start to happen is you can really sort of just dilute what it is that you're trying to say and minimize your ability to stand out from everybody else. So that's where it takes a lot of bravery to be able to really kind of establish something that makes you unique. And it's to try to first pin that down with voice, maybe kind of getting too far ahead. So before you get there, really thinking about some of those kind of deeper, harder to pinpoint concepts are: what are your core values as a company? What kind of future are you hoping to create through this business? What types of interests do you have? And then all of these questions that you're asking, you should be asking about your customers as well. Because again, we're talking about facilitating a relationship and a dialogue. And so while it's really important to know who you are, it's just as important to understand who your customers are and how to tailor your message in a way that's really going to resonate with them. And so that's where, when you start to have both sides, that you can start to dial in what kind of voice you want to use. Because yes, some of that will be unique to you and your brand, but some of that is also going to be, okay, what are my customers looking for? What will they really respond to? And so if it's a skateboard brand and you've decided that this is a skateboard brand for people that are just getting into skateboarding and are pretty fearless, maybe 15-year-olds are your target customer demographic. They're people that got an Amazon gift card for their birthday or the holidays, and they are so pumped to be able to buy their first skateboard. And so maybe like lean into that. Or perhaps you're selling skateboards that are for people in their 30s who want to reconnect with their 15-year-old self. And so then maybe it's a little bit of blending, but maybe also diving into the archives of your of what skateboard lingo was in the 90s, so that they can have some of those nostalgic memories to be able to engage in this hobby that they used to really enjoy.